Hello, Sula here from MistyHilltops.com. Thanks for stopping by. In this video, I'm working on a 5x7 double page spread for my Autumn 23 mini album, and I titled this page Baked Apple and Pumpkin Soup. Well, it's a double page spread. And I'm using the digital version of the collection Welcome Autumn by Carta Bella and lots of stamps and dies. So Welcome Autumn is actually a physical product, but you can get the digital version there as well. I am starting with a stencil, and this stencil is a layered stencil. It's an apple pattern, and it has 3 layers to it with 3 types of colors basically. I decided once again to use watercolor. You can also use stamping ink or other. I've done stencils with texture paste, all these kinds of things. But you see there on the left side is my other page that I used a layered stencil with watercolor. The difference between using ink and watercolor is that watercolor turns out a little bit more messy, especially if you use like these filigrane kind of patterns, and there is a big chance if you're using watercolor that the color will kind of run underneath the stencil. So if you want clean work and a clean look for things, I recommend using stamping inks, but I want to achieve this little bit messy look. I don't mind when things go a little bit messy, even run underneath the stencil there. It's just, for me, I like the watercolored look. Also, before I started, working with stencils is actually quite time-consuming, I find, and so I don't need to stencil the entire page because part of it will be covered up with a pattern paper. So rather than stenciling the entire page, I just decide to make a mark to show me how far I should go. Then I am adding my second layer, and you see I had the other stencil there with me to show me where it lines up. So that layering them on top, and I put it on the top layer so I can just easily take it off and have my next stencil ready. So that's how I can align these stencils more easily. I also have marked my stencils. I put a little dot on the bottom right corner. Doesn't matter where, but I try to be consistent so I don't forget, and so that shows me which way these stencils align, and it makes it easy for me. So here I am adding my second color, and you can also see that the stencil is smaller than my page is tall or long, I guess. And so to deal with that, I have to layer it up again. But fortunately, this is a kind of a continuous pattern. All I need to do is just find the same pattern again within the stencil. So here you see me layer it up again. Then I find the same pattern where it is, and then just so that it can fill the bottom part there of the page. So here you can see that it lines up with the other bits there. Now I have cut a whole bunch of time there that I have used to color things up so that I can move on to the third layer of the stencil. Once again, I use that apple, the main apple stencil there. Now I'm working with brown color. Before it was red, then it was green, now it is brown to finish up my apple. And so here when I removed the top layer, I kind of moved everything again. But now I was already in the right area, so I knew where to line things up, and now I was just lining it up more perfectly. And now I can go ahead and add the stems, and I think there is some of the leafy parts also get some watercolor there. Again, working with watercolor does make things a little more messy, especially with these really kind of thinner designs. The watercolor, the more water you use, the runnier the color will be, and it might sometimes run underneath. But as I said before, to me it doesn't matter. I like that look. Now I'm pretty much done with my stenciling here. I just cut out a bit so that you won't get bored to death watching me do stenciling with watercolor. And now I'm ready to add my papers and embellishments. So here I have this paper strip that I want to put across the page there from top to bottom, which is why I didn't need to color up the entire page there. I just needed to color the right side of the page. I also created the scalloped border, but because there will be paper covering it, so I just cut it in the middle, and then I put some part on the top and some part at the bottom. That is an easy way, so I wouldn't have to waste any additional resources that I have. So here I'm ready to add this other paper strip that goes on top of the rest there, and that basically marks the end of kind of my background. Now I can move on to embellishing. And for embellishing things here, I have obviously my photos. There are 2 photos that go with this page. Then I created this little label here, and I do have similar labels in silhouettes in my silhouette library, but I do like to use die cut pieces because they kind of make things look a little puffy, if you know what I mean. And so obviously it also has the faux stitching, so I decided I will use this bracket label from my die cut pieces rather than use my silhouette to cut it out. And now I'm ready to add the last photo there. This apple you see is from the Silhouette store. And so this is actually one that I got many years ago that is for 3D layering, basically to create a 3D apple. So there's several layers that you then put on top of each other, and creates a 3D kind of apple. But here all I needed was just one layer, and so I can reuse and repurpose my silhouette designs a lot. This little label there comes from a silhouette, the Silhouette store. I grab a whole bunch of labels, usually during special sales. This little round label is one as well. They come as cuts from Silhouette, but I turn them into little printable things there. It works just sweet. Obviously, I also printed out some of the embellishment pieces that come with this collection, and you see them at work as well. And I'm using a little brad there that I poked a hole through this little label, but I also realized later as I was putting this album together that it had been so close to the edge that it tore off from the edge. So I did what I always do with my brads. I just cut off the clippy bits and then just add layers of cardstock so that I can glue this onto my page. Now I'm working on the title. For the baked word there, I just used a stencil. I have planner stencils, a whole bunch of them, and among them is a little alphabet, or some alphabets, and so I used those to stencil the word baked, and then I used some of my alpha dies to write the word apple there. That's this page done for the most part, except for the word strips that will be added later. Now I'm going on to the next page there, and you see I've already added the 2 paper layers. This is yet another label that comes from the Silhouette store, the yellow one there, which I like to use this one, this bracket one. It's so cute because it looks like from a store when you buy things to hang them there, that little hole there at the top. I find it super cute, so I got a bunch of these labels many years back as well. Then I also created this tag, and this tag is a die cut piece, and then I used one of my other stencils, and this one actually I inked. So it's again layered stencil, so I used orange for the pumpkins and then brown for the stem of the pumpkin, and then I used also stamping ink just to color the entire tag, so it's not white. It's the same shade of orange, just much lighter. I made sure I didn't apply too much of the ink there. So now you can see the difference between the watercolor and the inking when working with stencils. So here I'm finishing off the background behind the photo, and now I can go on and move on to the photo and then the embellishment parts. So here I have my title. My title is a mixture of stamping and die cut, and it was a word, I think pumpkin spice or something, and I just did not stamp the spice part, and I didn't like when I die cut, I just die cut this part and rounded off the edge there, and that creates my title. Then I have a little cooking die cut set, and from that I took this pot, and I also used ink, gray or silver ink, and to create this kind of metallic looking, shimmery looking pot, and then obviously the pumpkins. I had a little spoon there, and now I am finishing off my title work. So this is another alpha die that spells the word soup, and so that basically finishes off my title work for this page. Then all I have left to do is to add my little word strips, and it's easy to create these word strips on your own. All you need to do is have a software like Word or anything equivalent to that, to write up a bunch of words and then print them out. I print them out on cardstock, and then I can throw them onto any page, and they make little nice embellishments. Obviously, if you have seen any of my previous videos, you will find that I always tell you that these word strips or similar ones are available as freebies on my blog, mistyhilltops.com. There's a whole bunch of things for free. I recommend you take a look if you haven't already, and so you will find word strips like that on my blog there. And again, all you need to do is then print them on cardstock. That's what I do. I just cut a piece of cardstock in the size of A4, which is what my printer works well with, and so that's all I need to do. So this is basically my pages done. These are 2 different pages for 2 different days, and I am going to leave you with summer close-ups. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Consider subscribing, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.